Namaskar. Let me welcome you all to today's episode of Sitar Learning Essentials. Today we are going to discuss a very important and effective way of skill building and competency development, which is deliberate practice. I will tell you what deliberate practice actually is. It is highly focused, purposeful, and systematic type of practice aimed at improving performance in a specific skill. You see the keywords here: highly focused, that means without any kind of distraction and deviation from the task or activity, either mentally or physically. Then purposeful, we need to have certain goals to achieve, and we can break it down into long term goal and short term goal, and we have to work towards achieving that with continuous evaluation, self evaluation, and evaluation by others, maybe evaluation by experts, the coach, mentor, evaluation by maybe your family members who are listening to you practicing every day, even they are not musically literate. They can give you feedback whether it is sounding better or not, and that is very important feedback, I should say. And a systematic type of practice. So if you ask me what systematic is, it is consistent and with perseverance and patience and following certain effective methodology, right? So that is systematic. Now we will discuss about these traits in rest of our episodes in detail. So it involves intense concentration, as we talked about focus, intense concentration and effort. It is effortful, it is not effortless. So deliberate practice itself is effortful, and whatever we achieve after deliberate practice, it is effortless. We will be able to play effortlessly without involvement of conscious mind in certain level of speed, accuracy, and stamina. So that is the goal. That will be effortless, but the process of deliberate practice is definitely effortful, because there is a gap in between wherever we are and wherever we want to be. For pushing the boundary from this point to the next point, we need to provide effort, focus, so that this process is effortful. That's why in past musicians used to say that till the time you have sweat in your forehead or little bit pain in your body or muscle, or if you are not having, sometimes they used to call, if you don't have blood and tears, your practice is not effective. So the overall point they wanted to convey is it should be effortful. The primary goal for this is skill development and improvement. Now we will come to these individual points and see these traits, how they are relevant in this process and how we can achieve that. Let's discuss this. Purposeful and systematic, we have already told. It is not just mindless repetition, rather it is structured with clear goals and plan for improvement, and definitely it should be time bound. This process cannot go indefinitely. You might have a goal for 2 years or 1 year, and you need to break it down towards short term goal for every month or every quarter, and after each tenure you should evaluate yourself, self evaluation, evaluation by your coach, etc. Focused attention, it requires full attention and concentration on the specific task and aspects being worked on. In past, that's why musicians used to lock themselves in a room, and strictly they used to avoid any kind of distraction, maybe in terms of phone call, in terms of others coming and bothering you during your practice time. So we need to adhere that during this deliberate practice time. So even we are saying this concept is modern, but you see these traits have been adhered by the great masters in past. Effortful, why it is effortful we have already discussed. It is not always enjoyable, very important. You might not enjoy because this is a repetitive task, it might be sometimes monotonous, but let me tell you, once you involve your conscious mind and evaluation process in place, you will not find this monotonous, you will find this interesting, and gradually you will find this enjoyable. And it requires significant effort, pushing individuals beyond their comfort zone. Goal oriented, which we mentioned, that you might need to have, you need to have short term and long term goals, and the purpose is to achieve that particular goal. The primary goal is to improve performance, not just to practice for the sake of doing it. Then feedback driven, which we mentioned, you need to have your own feedback, continuously evaluate your playing or singing. When you practice, your another instinct should listen to it. Every week you can do a recording of your practice, and separately when your mind is free, you need to listen to that and see what has gone wrong, what has gone right. In corporate terminology, this is called SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity and threat. Then repetition and refinement. This is the most important thing in this process. Deliberate practice involves repeated practice of specific element of a skill with continuous refinement and improvement. And expert guidance is required in this process. It is very important to choose a person or expert as your coach who has gone through the process. For an example, if your goal is to play something in very high speed with certain level of clarity, at the same time it sounds musically beautiful, it does not sound harsh, then you should go to some person who can do that, or at some point in their life they have been able to do that. The person who has never been able to do that in their life, that person will not be able to guide you effectively, and it will not give you the best result. They might give you some pointers here and there, what to do and what not to do, but the deep insight you will not get from them, because they never gone through the process themselves, right? So it is very important to go to the person who has already experienced that and who has experience in coaching. Last but not the least, you need to have patience. You need to be patient. That means you need to have the patience, because you might not get immediate reward in this process. When the growth is natural, as I said, then it takes some time to get the result. So over the period of time, if you do these things with consistency and perseverance, you might see the result. And once you achieve certain level of competency, from there you need to take this process forward for improvement, because there is no end of improvement, right? So wherever you are, there is always a possibility to improve from that level to the next level, and you can see the next level once you are at the previous level. So once you are here, you might not be able to see what this person can see on their top. So this level of improvement, it is just like staircase. So this is a process that we need to follow for our skill development and competency building. Please impart this idea in your daily practice. Work smart also while playing, while doing work, while you are working hard, you need to work smart also to achieve these things effectively and rapidly. With this note, let us conclude today's episode, and those who have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do that to get this kind of informative and educative videos on Indian classical music and sitar. Namaskar. Thank you.